Friends, let's discuss current affairs. We begin with a question on fish production. We have had the blue revolution for a couple of decades, more than a couple of decades now. So, what is it like? We have become the second largest fish producing country in the world. There is a certain dispute regarding the ranking here. There is China at the very top, the world's largest fish producing country. But there is Indonesia. In some journals, some sources, you will find that Indonesia is ranked second and India is third. But the government of India's data says that India is the second largest fish producing country in the world. So we'll go with what the government says. Now, as I mentioned earlier, fish production was the aim of the blue revolution. Increasing fish production was the aim of blue revolution. Now, as I mentioned, the top three countries in the world would be, fish producing countries in the world would be, China, which produces more than half of the world's fishes. I mean, when I say fish production, we are talking of catching fishes, fish farming, aquaculture, everything put together. So, China at the very top, India number 2, number 3 is Indonesia. Okay. And you see this in the last 10 years, fish production has gone up by over 100%, which also means that, a lot of government policies like, Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana and all have played a pivotal role, an important role in pushing fish farming and raising the incomes of fish farmers. Meet Virat Kohli. We all know who's Virat Kohli, isn't it? Now, Virat Kohli, my friends, is nicknamed the king, a master finisher, master chaser, plenty of nicknames he's got. He has become the fastest person to score more than 28,000 runs across 3 formats. What are the, 3 accepted international formats? You have ODIs. I think I should use some other color here. Why don't I use yellow? Yeah, ODIs. Then we have T20s and of course Test cricket. Now, Test cricket is something that I have always loved, but he isn't done. Of late he has not done well, so he quit Test cricket recently. He's played a total of 123 tests, and I remember that he has scored 90 to 30 runs. At one point, his test average was over 54. Now it's, around 46 because there had been a great slump in his form in the last 4 years. Okay, so he has played a total of 123 tests, where he scored 90 to 30 runs. He has played 125 T20s and he scored 4188 runs. Then, of course, ODI, where he's the king. He's, 311 matches he has played. This includes a recent match against New Zealand, the first, all the 3 matches that we have had in the series, including the New Zealand series 311. And I think he has scored something like 14,797 runs. This totals up. So, over 28,000 runs. You can see that here, this 14,000, a little under 15,000 runs would make for more than 50% of the total runs he has scored across all the 3 formats. So King Kohli, with the great Virat Kohli, my friends, has become the fastest player to score more than 28,000 runs across all the formats. Okay, as far as Joe Root is concerned, he's currently the number 2 in Test cricket, runs aggregate. The topper, of course, is Sachin Tendulkar. Okay. Dash has planned to introduce ice hockey by developing a natural ice rink. A rink is basically an arena where skaters use basically. So ice skating happens on an ice rink, the place arena stage where ice skaters go around. Doing their activities is called a rink. RINK. So we have a cricket stadium, a football stadium, a baseball pitch or baseball, basically a diamond-shaped pitch. In the case of ice hockey, it's called rink, RINK. Boxing is called the square. Basically, the boxing area is called the square or the four square. Four-sided square. Square is always four-sided, isn't it? Unless my math is bad there. So Sikkim is planning to build a natural ice rink, promote a natural ice rink where skaters from all over the world could come to enjoy themselves. And this is located in the Nathang Valley, which is nicknamed Ladakh of the East. What is it? Ladakh of the East. So the nickname of this place is Ladakh of the East. It's about a little under 5,000 meters high. So we have Sikkim, and while the latest data, census data, is not around, if you go by the previous census data, and I think it will remain the case in Sikkim is India's least populated state. India's least populated state. And you know what? Sikkim was not a part of India till 1975. So let's turn it around and put it this way. In 1975, Sikkim became a part of India, by merging the state it was a monarchy where the Raja was called Chogyal. So it was an independent Buddhist kingdom. Sikkim was an independent Buddhist kingdom. It merged with India in 1975. Okay. Which day is not observed in January? Well, the World No Tobacco Day. This is observed I think in May. Yeah, yeah. What about I want to discuss one particular day, 2 days maybe. Pravasi Bharati Divas, 9th January. Why? Because on this day, in 1915, Mahatma Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi came back to India from South Africa. That is some kind of a homecoming. So Pravasi, non-resident, overseas Indians, basically overseas Indians Day. So to celebrate the homecoming of Mahatma Gandhi from South Africa on 9th January 1915, this particular day is, taken to be Pravasi Bharati Divas. When it comes to National Youth Day, oh boy, National Youth Day, it's 12th January. Why 12th January? This happens to be the birthday of Swami Vivekananda, who was born in the 1863. On this day in 1863. Okay. Who will be the chief guest at the 77th Republic Day celebrations? We have had this tradition of inviting someone over, some foreign dignitary to be the chief guest. And this year, European Union leaders are coming over. The European Union comprises three entities. One is European Council, the other is European Commission, and the third is European Parliament. So 1, 2, 3 is European Parliament. While the heads of the first two are mentioned here, Antonio Costa, a former Prime Minister of Portugal, is the current president of the European Council, while Ursula von der Leyen, who is a former defense minister of Germany, is president of the European Commission. She is the most powerful person in the European Commission. This European Parliament is headed by Roberta Metsola. Okay, so that's the story, my friends. All three have come. And how many countries are there in the European Union? 27 countries. 27 countries. And one more thing you need to know is that there have been occasions where Pakistani presidents, have been the chief guest at the Republic Day function. Yeah. So that's the idea, my friends. Now, why 26 January is observed as Republic Day? Why 26 January? See, a republic is a system in which the head of the state is an elected representative. Let me repeat. A republic is a system in which the head of the state is an elected representative. Who is the head of the state of India? The president. The first president of India came to office on 26 January 1915. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, We became a republic on that day. So let me repeat. A republic is a system, a political system in which the head of the state is an elected representative. And on 26th January 1950, the first president of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, nicknamed Babuji, came to office on that day. He took the oath of office on that day. That day, we became a republic. Okay. Republic has nothing to do with the constitution. See, countries like a lot of countries, like for example, you have Britain. Britain is not a republic, but it has a constitution. New Zealand is not a republic; it has a constitution. Saudi Arabia has a no republic, is not a republic, but it has a constitution. So, constitution and republic are not related in that sense. Well, as per the 2026 Henley Passport Index, which is the world's most powerful country, which country has the world's most powerful passport? Well, answer of course is Singapore. It's highlighted here. It has what? Is it mentioned? Access to 192 countries. If you're a Singaporean, you could simply walk into any country without a need for a visa. It could be either visa-free access or visa on arrival access. Beat that. 192 countries, technically the entire world except North Korea. Yeah. So, apart from this, in the second place were two countries, South Korea and Japan. They have access to 188 countries. Second place. Okay. Second place. So, second place. In the third place, there are 4 countries. So, this, okay, these 2 countries plus Switzerland and Luxembourg. So 4 countries are, are in the third place with access to, with their passport having access to 186 countries. 186 countries. Yeah. So these things you can see basically. What about India? Yeah. India's rank is 80. We have access to 51 countries. 51 countries. Okay. Rank 80. There are 3 countries here. India, Niger, a country in Africa, one of the poorest countries in the world, and then another African country called Algeria. So 3 countries have the same rank, 80. Yeah, we are ranked 80. Our passport is ranked 80, and we have visa-free access to 51 countries. A total of 101 countries were, a total of 101 countries were ranked, and the last rank went to Afghanistan. Afghanistan has, Afghan citizens have access to visa-free access to 24 countries. 24 countries. Now, it may intrigue you. What about China? I think it's 51 countries. China, 80 countries. Rank 50, 80 countries. And what about Pakistan? Pakistan, global rank, these are ranks, okay? 2 countries, Pakistan and Yemen. Well, you can understand, if they have clubbed Pakistan with Yemen, it means they are in a very bad shape. They have access to about 31, I'm so sorry, 31 countries. So you got a lot of data here, my friends. A country like Israel, which is often seen as a pariah, people vote against Israel all the time, they say. You know what's the global rank of Israel? 18. Yes, 18, my friends, global rank. Israel has access to 159 countries. And a lot of countries don't give access to Israel. Like, for example, what is this place? Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan don't give any access to the Israelis. But still, you see this 159 countries is what the Israelis have access to visa-free. Plenty of data, guys. Which country observes National Agricultural Biodiversity Day on January 16th? Ladies and gentlemen, Nepal. Nepal, as you know, is majoritarily Hindu. It was a Hindu Rashtra, avowed openly Hindu Rashtra. but since then it's become since last couple of decades it's become a secular country. And why this particular day coincides on what is called coincides with Mage Sankranti. Mage Sankranti. Sorry guys, Sankranti. The idea is to promote food security, environmental protection, ecological balance, use of traditional farming systems, all that stuff. Okay, raising awareness about this. Nepal has an interim prime minister, Sushila Karki. Sushila Karki is an interim prime minister, and coming to the president here, Ramachandra Paudal. Ramachandra Paudal. Yes. Sri Lanka has a presidential system, and of course, they also have a prime minister, but they have a presidential system. So the chief is Anura. The president is Anura Dissanayake. Dissanayake. Bhutan is a constitutional monarchy. There is a Raja here, Jigme Singye Wangchuk Namgyel. The prime minister is Shering Tobge. Shering Tobge. So Jigme Wangchuk is a king. Shering Tobge is a prime minister. Myanmar has a military junta. Junta is pronounced with an H. So junta becomes junta. So basically a group of people, military men who rule the country. So this country is headed by a guy called Min Liang Ong. He is the head of Myanmar. Which country has emerged as the world's leading market in terms of the number of initial public offerings? The first time a company comes out with a share issue is called initial public offering. Okay, IPO. And third largest by value. Value is market capitalization, but let's look at this. India has had the highest number of IPOs last year. In the first 9 months of the current financial year, 9 months of financial year 20, what is this? 26? Yeah. So financial year starts on 1st April, ends on 31st of March of next year. So the current financial year normally is called 25-26. Okay, 25-26. But it's written like this, always written like this. It's always written like this because FY26 means the year ends in FY26. The financial year ends in FY26. Now, the first 9 months, there were bid this 311 IPOs, initial public offerings, means companies came out, 311, 311 companies came out with the IPOs. And they raised a total of 1,07,000 crore rupees. Sorry, 1,70,000 crore rupees. 1,70,000 lakh crore rupees. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Yeah. This is what they collected from investors. Market capitalization, third largest by market cap. Market capitalization. Let me write, I have written in short. Market capitalization. What does it mean? It means number of, how do you calculate it? Is number of outstanding shares multiplied by market price of each share. Market price of each share. So let's say a company has issued 1 lakh shares and the price of each share is 50 rupees. What is the market value? 50 lakhs. So if one share is worth 50 rupees, how much is the value of all the shares? In this case, 1 lakh shares, 50 lakh rupees. If you go by that, the world's most powerful company, world's largest company is NVIDIA. What is it? NVIDIA. NVIDIA has a market capitalization of over $4 trillion. 4 lakh crore dollars. That's a lot of money. Yeah. 300 see, it comes to 360 lakh crore rupees. You heard it right. Okay. 360 lakh crore rupees is the value of all the shares of NVIDIA. 360 lakh crore rupees. Now, in India, the company with the highest market cap is Reliance Industries. What is it? Reliance Industries. It has a market cap of around 15 lakh rupees. 15 lakh crore. Ayyo, not 15 lakh. Not 15 lakh rupees, 15 lakh crore. More than that, actually. Yeah. So India has the third highest market. The highest is in New York. Yeah. Top is NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. This is the value of all the companies put together. Okay. NASDAQ, third is India. So there are two Indian stock exchanges, two American exchanges. NYSE, New York Stock. Second one, National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotation. Let me repeat. National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotation. 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 Okay. The 27th Intersec, the world's largest, leading trade fair for security, safety, and fire protection, was held in Dubai. It was held at the World Trade Center in Dubai. Right? This is the capital of the. This is the largest city in what do you call the United Arab Emirates. It's not the capital, of course. Yeah. Home to the UNESCO. Geneva is home to the International Labour Organization. Riyadh is home to the Gulf Cooperation Council. Gulf Cooperation Council. Plenty of stuff. Extra stuff. Which two countries co-chaired the 16th ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting plus expert working group on counterterrorism? India and Malaysia did that. Yes, India and Malaysia. See, ASEAN is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Let me repeat. Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Okay. This has 11 members. 11 members. The latest member, 11th one, is, you may get this kind of a question, is Timor-Leste. 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 Okay. Yeah. It's also called East Timor. And it's headquartered in Jakarta. 11 members, headquartered in Jakarta. It's headed by Kim, Kun. It's also written with a K, of Cambodia or Cambodia. Okay. Shall we discuss the leaders? I don't think we should discuss the leaders. Let's look at capitals for a change. Today, capitals. Yeah. Thailand, capital is Bangkok. You all know this. Myanmar, Naypyidaw. We looked at the leader's name also a while ago. Naypyidaw. Bhutan, Thimphu. You all know this. THIMPU. Thimphu. Nepal, Kathmandu. Bangladesh, Dhaka. Coming to Malaysia, two capitals. Yeah, let's put it here. Malaysia has two capitals. One is Kuala Lumpur. Technically, two capitals, but you can simply say one. Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya. What is the second one? Putrajaya. Putrajaya. Indonesia, of course, Jakarta. In the large states category, which state topped the Niti Aayog's Export Preparedness Index 2024? This is the latest index, latest available data. Okay. Maharashtra topped it. Number 2 was Tamil Nadu. In the order in which these are mentioned, the top 3 states and large states known for their export preparedness. So what are we talking about? How the preparedness to drive and sustain export growth, but not just having policies. It's also important to have the political will to drive and sustain that export range. So, top 3 states, large states. This is among small states. Among smaller states, Uttarakhand top list. Okay. Yeah. Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation of Japan has received the RBI's in-principle approval to open a wholly owned subsidiary in India. They recently purchased a large shareholding in Yes Bank. Remember, what is the bank? Yes Bank. Now they want to open their own branch in India, wholly owned. They would come. They would own the entire thing on their own. So, this is headquartered in Tokyo. Headquartered in Tokyo, and its chairperson is Takeshi. This, how I remember, because this was a childhood game show, Takeshi's Castle. So Takeshi Kunibe. What is it? Takeshi Kunibe. Takeshi Kunibe. I guess that's about it. Vietnam, Hanoi, Taiwan, Taipei. We'll keep it simple this week. Yeah, we look at only the capitals. South Korea, this Seoul. The E is silent. What is it? Seoul. Identify the correct statement as per the International Labour Organization's Employment and Social Trends 2026 report. A large number of people around the world are unemployed. What is it? Global number basically is 18.6 crore. Though the report says there's a historically low number. Global unemployment is projected to remain at a historically low of a little under 5%. 5% of the labor force is unemployed. That is about 18.6 crore people, my friends. So, but look, around 29 crore, 28.5 crore people, workers still live in extreme poverty with an earning of less than $3 a day. So $3.90 rupees at 90 rupees, 270 rupees. They earn less than 270 rupees, and internationally this is accepted as poverty line. Okay, though the poverty line varies between organizations and with countries. Yeah, it's important to know that it's more or less taken to be, poverty line. So a substantially large number of workers live below the poverty line, my friends. As far as the ILO is concerned, this is the oldest UN agency. It was started in 1919 under the League of Nations. Yeah, just the League of Nations came after this, but more or less around the same time. So the International Labour Organization later was made a specialized agency of the UN, and this is the oldest UN agency. It's headquartered in Geneva. We mentioned this a while ago. And ladies and gentlemen, it's headed by Gilbert Humbo. He's from Africa. Gilbert Hongbo or Humbo. He is from the tiny country of Togo. Tiny country of Togo. Which two nations have participated in a joint training exercise called Inspired Gambit? Inspired Gambit. The United States and Pakistan have come together to do, to engage in military exercises, military maneuvers. For long, there has been distrust in this. So, the US uses countries sometimes and then throws them off, casts them off after their use, is over. They don't have any further use for that country. With Pakistan, they have thrown away Pakistan so many times, yet the Pakistanis, haven't learned their lessons. So, Inspired Gambit, Pakistan and USA. Pakistan, my friends, has a capital called Islamabad, and the Prime Minister is Shehbaz Sharif. Shehbaz Sharif. If you watch the film Dhurandhar, in that there is a politician who addresses, he's a president, he's a party, he's a leader of a Pakistan Awami Party something, and that guy is the current president of Pakistan, Asif Ali Zardari. In that movie, he has a different name. Of course, you can't take the real names. Okay, Asif Ali Zardari is the president of Pakistan. Shehbaz Sharif is the prime minister. Okay, there is an ongoing dispute between Thailand and Cambodia, so they won't have military exercises. The Prime Minister here is Hun Manet. Hun Manet. I told you a while ago that we will discuss capitals and not leaders, but again, we went back to what we usually do. Yeah. Taiwan, Lai Ching-te. Lai Ching-te or William Lai. Afghanistan has the Taliban running the show. The leader of the Taliban is Hibatullah Akhundzada. What's the name? Hibatullah Akhundzada. But the interim prime minister of this country is a guy called Hassan Akhund. Don't worry too much. Okay. Yeah. Name the current World Bank president who has been named as a member of the board of peace for Gaza. Ajay Banga. Ajay Banga. He studied at St. Stephen's College, Delhi. Later, MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. And he was a CEO of Microsoft, MasterCard. He became chairman later. Then he became the chairperson of a company called XOR, EXOR, which owns a lot of companies. Like, this Stellantis. Have you heard of this company? Stellantis owns Jeep, Chrysler, Fiat, all that stuff. Yeah. It owns Ferrari. Yes. Big shot. And now, of course, he's an American. He became American in 2007. And the unwritten rule is that the World Bank will always have a chief, who's an American. The World Bank president is always an American. Anshula Kant is the MD and CFO of World Bank, Chief Financial Officer of World Bank. She is a former SBI Managing Director. She joined SBI as a PO. Zhao Jiai is the new chief of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Let me repeat, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Christine Lagarde, president of the European Central Bank. European Central Bank. Masato Kanda, president of the Asian Development Bank. Asian Development Bank. So plenty of stuff, my friends. We'll not discuss this board of peace for Gaza. It's a work in progress. We'll discuss in the subsequent classes. Which Indian company, IT company, has acquired a 3,000 crore contract from CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, to build an AI-based program to modernize our national tax system. LTI, which is owned by, as you can see, the first two letters, LT. It is Larsen and Toubro. Larsen and Toubro is a steel company, an engineering company. It also owns this IT services company. Its CEO is a guy called Venu Lambu. Venu Lambu. Infosys is headed by, Salil Parekh. I'm going to give the names of the CEOs. Salil Parekh. T-Series Kritivasan. Tech Mahindra, Mohit Joshi. Mohit Joshi. HCL Tech, C. Vijay Kumar. C. Vijay Kumar is one word. Vijay Kumar is one word. During the second global summit on blue food security, see the future. You look at the see the future. It's a pun on the words SEE. See the future 2026. With which country did India sign a joint ministerial declaration of intent to strengthen collaboration in fisheries and aquaculture sectors? Israel. Israel is Israel is a very tiny country. It has access to sea in two ways. Okay. Now, here there is Dead Sea. This is Gaza, West Bank, This is a Dead Sea. There is the Sea of Galilee here, and this is the Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean Sea. But Israel is a global power when it comes to using aquaculture. Okay. Here also there is Samudra. It's called the Gulf of Aqaba. Gulf of Aqaba. This is my favorite pastime, discussing countries like this. Okay. So Israel there, my friends. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Lebanon, Nawaf Salam. Nawaf Salam. Iraq, Mohammed Shia al-Sudani. Mohammed Shia al-Sudani. Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto. Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian. What's the name? I'll write here. Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian. Okay. Which country is hosting the 28th? It's happening. That's why hosting. It's it's 28th conference of speakers and presiding office of the Commonwealth. Now, what's the Commonwealth? The Commonwealth comprises 56 nations, most of which were once part of the British Empire. Okay. So there are 56 countries. How many? 56 countries. And let me use red here. 56 countries. So Commonwealth has 56 countries. Head office is in London. Where is this? London. And it's headed by Secretary General named Shirley. Oh, Shirley Botchway. She is from Ghana. If I'm not wrong, she's from Ghana. This is Ghana. This one. Okay. And the surprising part next to it is this small country. You see this thin slice here? That is Togo. ILO chief Gilbert Humbo. This is Togo. Now these are countries which are, you see all members. Dude, all colored countries are members of the, Commonwealth. Where all colored countries, but all colored except gray. Now there are two major colors you can see here. This dark blue, Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea. Yeah, there are these three, and Jamaica here, Belize here, tiny countries here, Bahamas and all. These are countries which have accepted the British monarch as the head of their own country. The British monarch is the head of Canada, New Zealand, Jamaica, Belize, Papua New Guinea, all those kinds of countries. That's why these are not republics. These countries you see here in pink, basically, these are all countries which, they don't have a monarchy. They are all republics. They're all republics, and they are members of the Commonwealth. They are members of the Commonwealth. You see this here, green, Malaysia. This is Malaysia. Malaysia is a monarchy, is a constitutional monarchy, but it has its own monarchy. It does not accept the British monarch as the head of their country. Okay. You see this here. Lesotho, Swaziland, these countries, three countries here, basically have their own monarchy. Hi, wonderful map, isn't it? The Tyler Prize, he is considered the Nobel Prize of the environment, my friends. Nobel Prize of Environment. And this year, Dr. Toby Kears won it for her lifetime work on understanding fungal networks. Fungus, basically. When I read about her, I was quite fascinated. And what came to my mind was this web series. I think it's on Geo Hotstar somewhere. It's called The Last of Us. The Last of Us, where a certain fungus eats up the brain and everything, basically. Yeah, turns people into zombies and all that crazy stuff. The DRDO has successfully flight tested, what is that? MPATH, MPATGM. What is it? Man portable movement, with being able to move anti-tank guided missile. So you can actually carry it and fire an anti-tank guided missile. It's a guided missile, so it has pinpoint accuracy. Okay, so it's Defense Research and Development Organization that came out with this. It's headed by Dr. Samir Kamath. Dr. Samir Kamath. Dr. Samir Kamath is a chairman of DRDO. India's credit deposit ratio has gone up, my friends. From 53% at the beginning of this millennium, beginning of this century, it's now 82%. What does this mean? Credit deposit. So for every 100 rupees collected by a bank as deposit, 82 rupees is lent. Yes, that's what it means. For every 100 rupees collected as deposits, fixed deposits, recurring deposits, savings deposit, whatever, bank collects money. Of that, the banks are lending 82 rupees, which is a huge number. Earlier, it used to be 53%. Now it is 82%. This has multiple meanings, basically. One, I'll give you two meanings. One, people are buying loans. It's called buying. Let's call it taking. People are taking loans. Why are they taking loans? For consumption expenditure, like buying bikes, buying bikes, homes, sometimes asset purchases. Yeah. Sometimes, consumption expenditure like what? Washing machines, bikes, cars, and all that stuff. TVs also, and refrigerators kind of stuff. Sometimes people buy loans for wedding purposes, education loans. People are taking loans to go on holiday. So plenty of reasons why people are taking loans. Okay, but it also means that there is a great deal of positive activity in the economy. So that's what it majorly means, actually. Okay, it's a good idea, but you may always wonder that what if this money does not come back? So money that is lent by a bank but does not come back to the bank is treated as a non-performing asset. What is it? Non-performing asset. A non-performing asset is one where both the principal and the interest, or let's put it this way, when a bank lends money, it expects you to pay back its money along with the interest. But if the bank does not receive the principal or the interest or both, then the bank terms that loan as an NPA. Now, when does a bank declare a loan to be an NPA? Well, a bank would wait for 90 days. A bank would wait for 90 days from the due date. So for 90 days, if the bank does not receive principal or interest or both, then it would classify the loan to be a non-performing asset. Okay. So today, gross non-NPAs are less than 3%. Less than 3%. That's what the RBI report says. So it means that people are lending, people are taking loans but repaying, which is a good sign. Which company has appointed Dina Powell McCormick as its president and vice chair? Meta Platforms, which owns Facebook, Instagram, Oculus, most importantly WhatsApp. Okay, it also owns Threads. Its chairperson, founder is a guy called Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg, or Zuckerberg, as some people call him. Okay, its head office is in a place called Menlo Park. Only in this case, I'll give you head office. Menlo Park in the American state of California. These are all American companies. Why don't I tell you the names of the CEOs? Advanced Micro Devices, one of the world's largest chip makers. Advanced Micro Devices is headed by Lisa Su. Considered I think, by one of the leading business magazines, named her CEO of 2025. That's a huge title. Cisco Systems, this company, makes internet telecommunications equipment, internet routers, modems, and all that stuff. So if you have heard of Zoom, then there is a rival called WebEx. WebEx is made by Cisco, and WebEx is a far more reliable platform than any other platform. Cisco is headed by, what is his name? Chuck Robbins. Chuck Robbins. Chuck Robbins. Accenture IT services company is headed by Julie Sweet. Julie Sweet. Salesforce, ERP, and lot of products it has. It's headed by founder, chairman, CEO Mark Benioff. Mark Benioff, which has become the fourth big tech powerhouse to be valued at $4 trillion. We discussed this. Simply put, the value of all shares of this company has crossed $4 lakh. $4 trillion. That is 1 trillion here is lakh here. 4,000 billion dollars, my friends. Yeah, which is 80% of India's GDP. India's GDP, which is equal to India's GDP. Which is equal to India's GDP. Can you believe this? $4 trillion is the value of all the shares of this company. Is also the value of all that we produce in 1 year in our country. Okay. Alphabet, my friends. Alphabet owns Google, all that stuff. Okay, YouTube and all. Its CEO is Sundar Rajan Pichai. Sundar Rajan Pichai. Amazon, the CEO is Andy Jassy. I'm talking of only CEOs in this case. Andy Jassy. In the case of Oracle, chairman Larry Ellison, one of the world's most powerful people, Larry Ellison. Coming to Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. IBM has an Indian, formerly Indian, now an American citizen, Arvind Krishna. Arvind Krishna. Yeah. I think he studied at IIT Kanpur. Then he did a PhD in somewhere in the US. And look at that guy. He is the chairman and CEO of IBM. Fourth, we said now. So what are the other three companies? NVIDIA, the chip maker. That's 1. 2, Microsoft. 3, what is that? Amazon. Fourth is, of course, Alphabet. Which city hosted a 2026 India Open Super 750 badminton tournament? New Delhi. It was in the news for all the wrong reasons, my friends. Bird, poop, inadequate heating. Oh, it was under, it received a lot of criticism. And men's singles winner, Lin Chu E. In some places you may not find N here, no problem. Lin Chun E. And women's singles winner, of course, this guy is from, I think, from China or Taiwan, China. And women's singles winner, South Korean, An Se Young. The Indian Badminton Association, BAI, it's called BAI. What is it called? BAI. Indian Badminton Association has 2 heads. The president is a guy called Himanta. You must be familiar with this guy. Himanta Biswa Sharma. President Himanta Biswa Sharma is the Chief Minister of Assam. Okay. And the General Secretary is Sanjay Mishra. Sanjay Khanna or Sanjay Mishra? Sanjay Mishra, I think. Okay. That's all from me, Bharat C. Jain. Have a lot of fun. Thank you for being here. If you would want us to discuss some particular issue, some global issue, some economic issue, please leave that, your comments in the, in the comment section, of course, your feedback, suggestions, what was right, what was not right, what could have been better. Please leave your suggestions in the comments box. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, my friends.